This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Business taxes. We're stressing about all the time and all the money you spent on your taxes.
This is my bill?
Now Business Taxes is a TurboTax small business expert who does your taxes for you and offers year-round advice at no additional cost, so you can keep more money in your business. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com/business. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service.
I'm here with my fiance, Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence.
Hi.
So he hasn't been on the podcast since we discussed Scream and watched the entire film and gave our reactions. So that was in October, which actually is a year and a half. And we just started dating then, and now we're fiancés and living together. So things have upgraded in our lives. Okay, so if you're out there, you know that I'm obsessed with all things The Gilded Age. Here, I'll flip my... Gilded Age was written, the term, as Lawrence reminded me, he's always helping to teach me too, is a term that Mark Twain coined. So Mark Twain actually wrote a book called The Gilded Age, and it was all about the corruption after the Civil War. The corruption with the industrial heads, urbanization, the greed from profiting off of lower income, lower middle class people, I should say, and exploiting the working class like crazy. Again, unions were not. This is when unions actually started because of the corruption from the Gilded Age. So I was obsessed and loved the Gilded Age TV show. So the Gilded Age TV show is just so well done. Carrie Coons, who's in The White Lotus season 3 right now. Cynthia Nixon is in it. Christine Baranski, Audra McDonald, who is Mama Rose in Gypsy right now. She was incredible. I saw it. So I've always loved the Gilded Age. I've done like some podcast episodes about it. I actually have an upcoming one that I've been holding on to because I just want it to be near the time when the Gilded Age comes back. But apparently it's not coming back till December 2025. Hopefully even earlier. I would hope so. But I'll release my Gilded Age episode sometime soon for the spring because I feel like it is a nice spring, summary kind of discussion. Specifically, all of the Gilded Age mansions and their gardens, like very spring-like. So I'll do that, and I can't wait for you all to hear it. But I want you all to hear now from Lawrence. I'm going to switch back. So, Lawrence didn't really ever read The House of Mirth by Edith Wharton or The Age of Innocence, these like classic Gilded Age tales. But, he does love the business history of New York. So since you finished the finale and you only started the series about like a week ago.
I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's one of the reasons why I liked pursuing my business degree was the utilization and invention and industrialization of this time period. Finding out about like the Bloomingdale Brothers business, which is now our current like Bloomingdale's. Hearing about the Forbes magazine, just seeing how all these things that I use in my day-to-day, finding out where they started. It was put so like finely well.
How did you like the soap opera element? Like, were any of the storylines very Real Housewives-y, since you're not always a fan of the Real Housewives?
I mean, it does perplex me to see if something like that was current. Like, I only know of my life and the life that I'm living, and just seeing like how people were acting with like new money and old money. It seems like a time that I don't want to be around, and it seems very phony and fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shouldn't separate somebody's social status. If you're a good person, you should be seen as a good person.
Yeah, so you feel like there's a lot of artificiality with the way people interact with each other because of their social status. Like, they're trying to one-up one another in certain new money stratosphere.
Yes, like the whole thing with season 2 about the old Met and the new Metropolitan Museum.
No, opera.
The opera. Just those two different things. When instead of met with resistance, the old Met could have just been more incorporating and helping out other people. It makes no sense why, if there's a benefactor that wants to help build up your roster of invitees or like people that would sing, why wouldn't you incorporate everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Like, new talent and diversity. It just being met with such staunch like resistance was very off-putting to see. But the show was done very well.
Now, what do you think of the Broadway talent in the Gilded Age?
Oh
do you think that
Martha McDonald, I am in love with her. I think she is completely underutilized in that series.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia Nixon, absolutely amazing. I have not seen her on Broadway, but I know she does something.
It a lot, yeah.
I haven't seen Carrie Coon, but like we said on about White Lotus 3, she is amazing in White Lotus 3. If I could relate to any of them, it's the New Yorker, Carrie Coon. Her character. But no, the elements of the show are so tightly timed together and very factual with present day, like how everything came out. And that's what I appreciate, instead of like some other soaps that are based loosely on nonfiction, like Downton Abbey or I forget what other shows. I'm not even interested in those shows. That's why I don't know anything about
those
them.
period dramas.
Yes. This seemed like the birth of industrialization in America, and I like that, and that's what made me want to do my business degree.
Yeah, you're right. This period has so much, like Oscar Wilde is around, and there's so much like new categories being invented, or how gender and sexuality is now like forming certain norms. And there's the son who's a queer character and his love story. I think like it does show you all the diversity, but not in a preachy way. Yeah. Like not in a we have to tokenize these characters. Like, I don't know, in some way, and this might be controversial, but I actually kind of feel like Bridgerton is sometimes forced.
Yeah.
Like the diversity is forced.
Like
when
those black girls in Bridgerton were not being treated like that.
Yeah.
Or
and
the gay people in Bridgerton were not being treated like that.
Yeah, Bridgerton is a fantasy historical show. Like, this is how we would have wanted it to happen. Like, this is with our modern eyes how we would have liked this period to play out. But that's not how the period actually played out. No. The Gilded Age actually shows you like a very wealthy black family, but they also, Peggy still has to eat with the servants in the old money house, even though the old money family is more open and aware than the Russells, like the new money family. Specifically, I feel like Bertha is Prejudiced.
Who's Bertha?
Bertha is Carrie Coons' character.
Oh, that's her name.
Bertha Russell.
Oh. I just know her as Mrs. George Russell.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't wait, though, for season 3. I feel like we need it, and they need to give us a date when it's going to come out. But, no, thank you so much for your thoughts. And I think...
Yeah, go out and watch The Gilded Age.
Yeah, watch The Gilded Age. And I think we're going to do these Fiancé reactions when we, like, discover a new show or a movie that we really love. Maybe we'll have to do it about Death Becomes Her, the film, since we loved that. And the musical we'll talk about because Lawrence and I just saw the musical with Angela, Christian, my mom,
Tony.
And Tony, Lawrence's brother. Angela's boyfriend, Matt, if he's out there. Okay, bye, everyone. And